Say hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello. Hey, just talk slower, baby, so you don't get nervous.
And it's okay if you take a long time.
Yeah, whatever.
Have you ever wondered where you came from? Well, in a sense, the ancient Sumerians could provide that answer with their superior intellect and ability to thrive as a civilization so early in human history. They've left archaeologists with many answers and as many questions as answers. I've researched extensively into this subject through my attendance in college courses as well as leisure reading to provide you with the best analysis as I possibly can of the ancient Sumerians. The ancient Sumerian civilization is significant to human history because of its major influences and mind-boggling mysteries. I'll proceed into this analysis as I cover three major areas: the who, when, and wheres of ancient Sumeria, their major influences in reading, writing, and everyday life, and their mysteries in their religion, art, and travels, or lack thereof. Ancient Sumeria began in Mesopotamia, or present-day Iraq, which is right here in the yellow, in between the Tigris and the Euphrates River. In fact, Mesopotamia is Greek for land between two rivers. It is widely believed that they migrated from northern India, which would be over here, migrated from northern India all the way to here. And the reason it's believed is because a lot of their religion is similar. Christine Preston wrote a book called The Rise of Man in the Gardens of Sumeria. She wrote, "The fact that Vedic and Sumerian legends tell identical stories could be regarded as evidence for the Sumerian origin." They both write about the 7 sages. In the Holy Vedas in India, the 7 sages are referred to as the Saptarishi, which aided a hero named Manu. In Sumerian legend, the 7 sages were craftsmen sent down to teach everyone about civilization, which some believe can be taken more literal than it is. They began with the 12 city-states. When those 12 city-states became urbanized, see here is Sumeria right here, and here's some of the cities, and Eridu. And when they became more urbanized in 3000 BC, that's when the Sumerian civilization rose. And Mesopotamia was basically ravaged with war between the Semitic people and the Sumerian people. And basically, Sumeria was conquered by Sargon the Great. He was an Akkadian from Akkad. In 2350 BC, he created the first empire, the first world empire. Biblically, a lot of people believe that the Sumerians can be traced in the Bible where it says, where they speak of the 2 sons of Noah, Ham and Shem. Genesis 10 shows you the lineage of Shem, the Semitic people, the Hebrew or Arabic speaking people, and they believe that's where the civilization in Akkad first started. And some people believe that Ham is the father of the Sumerian people, or the Hamites. But no matter where you believe, their major influences are very important. They've influenced many cultures like the Akkadians, the Babylonians, the Elamites, the Egyptians, and others all adopted a lot of their stuff. In fact, the Babylonian Hammurabi Code of Laws can be traced back to the Sumerian civilization. The Hammurabi Code of Laws is the first laws ever that was written down and justified as a judicial system. And it wouldn't have been possible without cuneiform, the first form of writing ever, first form of symbol writing ever. And this was in the Sumerian civilization where it originated. If you see right here, I know you can't see this, is 3000 BC. This is some of the first symbols ever. And as Shaw Williams of Heritage Key wrote, cuneiform essentially marked the moving from prehistory to history. In fact, it even influenced the Phoenicians, who created our the first alphabet that is similar to the alphabet we have now, which is where we get the word phonics from the Phoenicians phonics. And it's real interesting. They also influenced through their measure of time, the way they measured time. They had a 12 lunar month calendar. Their zodiac had only 6 representations, unlike our 12. But that's because when they placed it around the circle, they separated it by 60 degrees, or 60 days. But why 60? They had a 60 base number system. That's where we get the 360-degree circle, the 60-second minute, and the 60-minute hour. That's where it all comes from. So even though Sumeria had a lot of answers, what about the questions? They left a lot of questions. Did they visit America 5,000 years ago? That's a mystery. But it's interesting. As you can see right here, we have the god Oannes, the sea god in Mesopotamian legend. Over on the right, you see a sculpture from Ecuador. Look at the similarities between the two. The hands are doing the same thing. They're both holding a basket. I mean, one's a fish god and one's a bird god, but they're very similar. The next two right here, this one's from Assyria, and this one's from Ecuador. Almost the same. You notice the horse body. There were no horses in South America back then. It's mind-boggling. The next thing is the pyramids. This is the ziggurat in Ur, the first pyramid ever built. Sumeria was considered the ones who invented the pyramids, built the first pyramids ever made. Now, the thing is that it's believable that they could have influenced the Egyptians. It's believable, but it's weird that you see pyramids in Central and South America. In fact, this pyramid right here, this is the Pyramid of Inscriptions in Chiapas, Mexico. It looks very similar. Compared to the ziggurat, they're both step pyramids. They both have a central stairway. They look almost identical. And it's just amazing. And art and architecture is not the only things that line up in this situation. Clyde Keeler wrote a book about the Kuna Indians, a tribe in Panama. He wrote about the similarities between the ancient Sumerians and the ancient Americans. He noted that 74 words in native Peruvian are identical in sound and spelling as words in Sumerian. And it's just amazing that the Sumerian civilization could have so many things, so many answers, and so many questions to everything in human life. But the most important thing to remember is that the Sumerian civilization was significant because of the impacts they left on the world. The Sumerian civilization was the first civilization to rise in human history, and they influenced more either directly or indirectly than any other civilization in history. With such great accomplishments in human history, it's good to know that the Sumerians were the first to begin with. Thank you.